Our 9th super fight of the night, Kearney versus Kalan Callcott. I remember competing against Kalan like 9 years ago. The man has been around for a minute. And classic Kalan style, every time I see him compete, he loves a bit of stand-up position. He loves a scramble and generally just absolutely sending it, keeping the match at a very high pace. Wise move by Kearney to sit to guard at the start of this match. I would likely do the same thing. Really nice wrestle up there by Kearney. A beautiful takedown. Kalan biting down on a guillotine, and that is under the neck. It's very tight by Kalan. Jumps to a guard. And interesting, I believe Kalan could have been slammed there. Great scramble by the boys. Hard to even commentate this one because it's so back and forth. Great takedown attack by Kearney. Great guillotine threat by Kalan. And I'd say Connor is probably one of the first guys we've seen tonight who does a really great job of mixing in his leg attacks with wrestle-ups. Nothing wrong with attacking the legs, especially if you're good at it, but oftentimes it can be a little bit one-dimensional. And if you're struggling to pull off your attacks, you just end up stuck on the bottom the entire match. Very exciting style by Kearney. When the leg isn't there, he wrestles up and gets to top position. Same by Kalan. Beautiful false reap entry there. Finds himself in a very deep 50-50 with a tight Achilles grip on the leg of Kearney. Nice entry by Connor there. Connor having a lot of success with that De La Hiva entry, becoming very popular recently. Talks on the knee of your opponent and forces them to turn away from you. Allows you to enter the legs, having great success with that. Managing to stay in on the leg of Kalan. Connor looking to use this position to expose the back of Kalan. Straight back in on the leg. Corner of Kearney calling for a kiss of the dragon, meaning spinning in between the legs of your opponent, which he just did, and looking to attack the back. Obviously, Kalan a little bit wise to that. Sits his bum down, denies the back exposure, and gets straight back to passing.
Two judges score this to the blue corner and one judge to the red corner.
Guard, bro. Ready for you.
Connor sitting back to guard. Looks like Kalan is not too chuffed with that. Definitely would prefer to stand up and wrestle. And understandably, Kalan looks a little bit frustrated trying to get around the guard of Connor Kearney. Very impressive guard retention. Very difficult to get around those legs. And he once again uses that same entry to get in on the legs of Kalan. The problem I think Connor Kearney is going to run into is it can be very hard to leg lock someone who really has no interest in playing the leg lock game with you. If their sole goal is to pull out of the position when you get an entry, often makes everything a lot easier. Kalan pretty clearly would prefer to wrestle and pass the guard of Connor Kearney. Connor very close on an inside heel hook there, but Kalan was aware it was coming. A few close inside heel hook attempts by Connor Kearney, but I would say Kalan is the type of guy who is not going to tap unless it is on like Donkey Kong. You would need serious braking pressure on the knee to get him to submit. Corner of Connor Kearney calling out Tren looking for the Tren lock, a variation of straight ankle lock, which is very tight. Unfortunately for Connor Kearney, every time he bites down on an attack, seems like the foot of Kalan Callcott just slips out of reach, although he finally finds himself belly down, getting good pressure on the ankle. Kalan finally finding himself where he wants, which is with Connor pinned to the mat around the legs. Can't see if Kalan is all the way around the legs, but unfortunately for Connor, when those types of leg attacks fail, you end up pinned in an awful position. Well done by Kalan. Finds himself on the back of Connor Kearney with a fully locked body triangle. And the corner of Connor Kearney yelling out previously, don't gas in that position. Come on, they're trying to push him. Obviously, Connor Kearney's corner is thinking he might be starting to fade after attacking non-stop this match. And Kalan now locking in the strangle. I'd say this match is over. Connor's going to tap, and he does. Well done by Kalan Callcott.
And your winner out of the blue corner, Kalan Callcott.